I've put together some very astounding data regarding the actual amount of money that is moving across the world, and when I present you with this data, you might have a better understanding of why I believe XRP can reach a 5-digit value before we do. This is especially true when people discuss a very high price for XRP. Some individuals, believe that this will happen in 20 years. Realistically, I predict that XRP will reach $10,000 in the next 5 to 10 years. And in this video, I'll demonstrate for you why I believe that. We must first discuss a few other topics. I simply assumed this was a significant news. On March 31st, Binance announced that USDT would be fully delisted in the EU. Now realize that the reason for this is that Tether has never conducted a physical audit of its funds to support its stablecoin. Let me quickly explain how stablecoins operate for those who are unaware. Regardless of the cost, you are aware of how much this is. The market capitalization of $131 billion, if I understand correctly, is $142 billion. This means that Tether must have $142 billion to support the $142 billion that they have issued in their stablecoin. They've worked now. In the past, Tether has collaborated with a few auditors. However, because Tether was beginning to exploit some of the material they had provided to say, oh, look, we're audited, the one auditor they were working with actually departed mid-audit a few years ago, forcing the firm to erase all of the data. Although it's not true, we're in the clear. Thus, the EU consists of 27 nations. What comes next? Correct. Will the United States do the same? In the week of March 10th, do you recall? Stablecoin regulation is something that Congress will be fussing on. Now, stablecoins must be high if they are to become a regular part of our lives. They must be subject to the strictest regulations in the U.S. The New York Department of Financial Services is at the top. They gave Ripple the go-ahead, which is why the name might sound familiar. Additionally, because the New York Department of Financial Services approved Ripple and requires that everything be verified, Ripple's stablecoin, or RLUST, is audited each month to ensure that they have the funds to support it. You don't have a bank vault full with, say, $100 bills totaling $142 billion. That's how this is often done. That would be really crazy. What frequently occurs here is that there are securities of some kind, most often treasury bonds, since they are easier to transfer than having 5 rooms full of cash. A stack of treasury bonds worth several $1 million might total $142 billion. I would like to know why Tether hasn't had an audit, such as a formal audit, in 11 years if they are so certain that everything is fine. Why haven't we seen that audit specifics? For this reason, I believe that additional nations will devalue USDT, which could result in USDT depreciating if there is a rush of USDT dumping that causes another Terra Luna collapse. Now, I don't want you to freak out, but if you're new to the cryptocurrency world or have been here for a while and you're not thinking about these things and you have all of your money in a stablecoin like USDT, you should be aware of this information. Later on, this information could save you money. Now, I think the EU, the US, and other nations will eventually allow Tether to re-enter the market if it can step forward and truly begin to be a stablecoin that is regulated at the highest levels. But it doesn't look good at the moment. Additionally, under the nation's new payment system, SBI VC Trade will be the first to list the Circle stablecoin, according to Ripple Investor. You see then, two of the most highly regulated stablecoins in the world are Circle's USDC and Ripple's RLUSD. As you can see, the first USD stablecoin in Japan is Circle's USDC. Though I'm sure there may be some licenses or other requirements that Ripple would have to fulfill in order to obtain its stablecoin, I would anticipate that they won't be far behind. Authorized by Japanese authorities, and before you know it, I think we'll see that. Now, this is the topic I truly wanted to discuss today. This individual claims that, although CXRP has a wide range of applications, including cross-border payments, many retailers sell it as a speculative investment. So what is the amount of cross-border payments? We learn about this. People frequently bring it up on Twitter and YouTube. You probably hear this all the time wherever else you obtain your information. So I did some research. Recent data indicates that the yearly value of cross-border payments is currently projected to reach $150 trillion. I taped a video earlier today that will likely be released tomorrow, and I heard from someone at Swift that, on good days, the Swift network can see over $20 trillion. Proceeded with it, Therefore, I believe that the $150 trillion annual figure is significantly less than the true amount. And if you start totaling up all the money, I believe this figure might reach the quad trillions. Additionally, this is another path that Ripple has been, following. When you're looking at foreign exchange, I believe that 80–90% of the global FX market is currently covered by Ripple. Additionally, keep in mind that there are perhaps 5,000, 6,000, or 7,000 different currencies on the XRP ledger. I believe I first noticed the number was 5,400 about 2 years ago. Therefore, I can only assume that number has increased dramatically over the past few years. Finally, 10, 20, or 30,000 various kinds of money combinations will be seen, with everything being exchanged for and against one another. But folks, a lot of value is exchanged on the foreign currency market. Therefore, this is based on data from April or October of 2023, when U.S. daily trading reached $7.5 trillion. And the reason XRP is ideal for this is that it can be used as a bridge currency to convert one currency into another. This is a fairly affordable method, and because of this, banks and other financial institutions around the world are able to close those OSTRA accounts that have money locked up worldwide. $27 trillion seems to be the greatest amount I've ever seen. That is a huge sum of money that is simply going bad. I frequently say this on my channel. If that money were truly unlocked, what could banks and other financial organizations do? Instead of having that money locked up, they could use XRP. Additionally, you have settlement assets, banks, and other financial entities. I wanted to know more about this. It claims that the entire assets held by U.S. banks and financial institutions are worth about $135.89 trillion based on recent data. By listening to individuals like Larry Fink and the CEO of BNY Mellon, we now know that tokenization of those assets is the way of the future for the stock, bond, and derivative markets. There is a duplicate asset that exists on-chain in addition to the actual physical asset in the real world. The value can be sent and transacted instantly when that asset is purchased or sold. In actuality, that is the future. This $135 trillion will now wind its way up to blockchain as the tokenization future progresses. What blockchain will this ultimately up on, Sensei? I believe there will be a variety of worthwhile use cases. On-do finance, HBAR, Algorand, XRP, XLM, XDC, and most likely a plethora of others. A large number of players will genuinely benefit from this. They will be the ones picked to lead the way through this tokenization future if you truly want to delve or drive into what assets will actually see the most value. Whatever banks and financial institutions are talking about the most, or the best technology on the world. Additionally, you have tokenized assets and decentralized money. Didn't we just discuss that? Capital market tokenization and securities, this is essentially the same thing. Then this person says that 500 is a reasonable amount. I have conducted numerous analyses on XRP prices ranging from $15,000 to $10,000. Actually, it's not that unrealistic. If it is possible, we will reduce the amount of XRP in circulation to roughly 10 billion tokens, which is now between 57 and 60 billion. Would take a lot of effort to stake and hold for a long time from financial institutions or central banks. However, the entire system will be under tremendous pressure to hold XRP if the US and the EU step up and start purchasing billions of XRP each. This is because all of these institutions will be hoarding XRP, which is likely to have intrinsic value soon. I can picture that truly taking place.